how bad do you want it? You feel me?
Yeah.
So every morning he wake up 5, 6 in the morning, get in the studio, record like 2, 3 songs, and go about his day. He might come back at night, do it again, boom, boom, boom. Wake up the next morning, boom, boom, boom. You feel me?
Young bass guy, and I'm bass with the Martians, 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 Martians.
All right, so this is the Mars Files, live on Dash Radio, powered by 1AM Radio. It's your boy Mars 3 times. And today I'm here with Trop, a.k.a. Tropdavinci.
Yes, sir.
What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. How you?
Chilling, man. Hanging out, living it up, living the LA life.
That's what's up, man.
How's LA been so far?
LA's been good. I like the vibes, you feel me? Tiring flying from Miami over here, but you know, we here, we networking, we making moves.
Word.
Smoking good.
So for the people that don't know, Tropdavinci is a producer, engineer.
Facts.
You want to tell them real quick what are some of the stuff that you've worked on so far?
Yeah, definitely. Starting from the beginning, you know, I worked a lot with Smoke Perp, Lil Pump, Icy Narco, Trap Stars. I worked a lot with Raider Clan, Nell, and Denzel, and you know, those type of people, Rob Banks, and worked my way up into working with like more mainstream artists, you know, from Fetty Wap to Future, Thug, Trey Songz, Jim Jones, Rick Ross, and then got picked up by Ross. And then from there, worked my way up to actually producing for him and actually being able to play in beats and all that stuff.
Word.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's super dope. I kind of want to just start from the beginning, though. Like, you're from Miami. What part of Miami?
South Miami, like A Street. I would say like right in between Kendall and Sweetwater. But like I grew up on the west, like my younger years, like when I was like in kindergarten to like middle school, I was on the west side of Miami, west side of A Street. So it's like West Little Havana, like 57th Ave and down that way. And then I grew up like my older self was more in like the Kendall area, Southwest A Street, because I got a studio up there. So I'm always around Kendall and Sweetwater. It's like I'm in between.
Word. So like, what was your experience growing up in Miami?
It was good. It was great. I enjoyed it. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations. Like, you know, it really like shaped me into the person that I am today, for real.
Yeah.
So.
In what ways though? Like how were you in school? Like how was your life growing up? How are your parents? Are they still together?
Yeah,
you know?
Well, in school, I never fucked with school, man. I was always doing dumb shit in school, like unfortunately. But looking back on it, like I regretted it now. But at the same time, I don't. But if I have kids and shit, I would tell them to just stay in school. My dad passed away when I was a jit. So like my mom was a single mom for a little while. And then she met, you know, her boyfriend, which they've been together for a few, like 5, 6, 7 years now. You know, so he's kind of like, he's cool, you feel me? Shout out to him, shout out to my moms. But, you know, my parents were cool. You know, my mom works, you know, just straight up, like works from 7 in the morning, 9 o'clock at night. You know, like very like middle class, you know, just working for the, you know, living check to check, working. And, but, you know, she always made sure that we had, you know, a new book bag for school or new shoes and things like that. And now I'm just trying to do the same for them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how deep you want to go into it, but like how was like your father's passing? Like how did that affect you?
Man, that shit changed my whole family. I never really talked about this in an interview, to be honest. But
I mean, if you don't want to go that
no, we could. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. You feel me? It happened when I was a jit, when I was like in the 3rd grade, and you know he caught cancer, and then you know it kind of like. At first, I was so young, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was going on, and they weren't telling me what was going on because they felt like I wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized, I'm like, oh, shit, okay, that's what happened. But you don't, it's crazy because that situation, that experience was like, it was like, you know how the nuclear bombs be blowing up and you see them blow up down the ocean and then it takes like hours for the shockwave to hit you? That's exactly how I could explain it. Like when I was young, it affected me and it affected my family. Like it tore my family apart. Like we used to be real united, and my dad was like the hustler of the family. Like he had the most bread. He was the one that was buying everybody's shit, and like he was like a hustler for real. And when that happened, it kind of split everybody up apart. But I didn't really feel the magnitude of what it meant to have a father figure in your life until I got older, until I got like to my 20s, and I was like, damn, I need his advice, and I didn't have that. I had nobody, so I had to like learn on my own. You feel me?
Yeah, no, yeah. Definitely. That's gotta be really tough.
Yeah.
How did you end up getting into music? I mean, moving forward, like
music was always like something in me. My mom liked music. She would always put the music on and clean the house, real loud, cleaning the house and stuff.
You're Cuban?
Cuban Dominican.
Okay.
Yeah, and You know, that's my mom really loves like, you know, dancing and stuff like that. My dad was into jazz and like a little bit of rap and stuff like that, and Spanish music, salsa, merengue, all that. So I kind of like got it from them, you know. And then, you know, I always started writing raps. I got infatuated with like rapping and rhyming. And then from there, I like fast forward on to like 18, 19, I had went to this school, SAE. I think they got one here. I learned how to be an engineer with that shit, but I was making beats before I even enrolled. I started learning how to make beats. Really, Soulja Boy put me on to making beats. Like, I found out Soulja Boy did this shit himself. I'm like, bro, like, I gotta do it. This is inspiring. And he inspired me to really do that shit. So shout out to him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But and so you're going to SAE, and then, I mean, I'm trying to understand, like, so at what point do you like link up? Like, so you're going to all the underground shows and shit like that?
Nah, I wasn't, bro. It's crazy, man. It's just, it kind of just like, almost like came to me because like I was working at this studio called Audio Vision Studios. I was working. I was never leaving money on the table. I was constantly working, booking
just
sessions.
Engineering people for people.
For right now. But I was producing, but I was producing for like, you know, my homies and shit, like local shit or whatever. And then, you know, some girl tagged me. This was when Smoke Perp was like not, like he was popping, but he wasn't like popping.
Yeah, like how he is now.
Nah, yeah, definitely not now, but he was still pretty popping. And this girl had tagged me in it, and I had always posted content. I guess he saw the content of me being with like Fetty Wap and me being with like Rob Banks.
So these things are already happening.
Yeah, I'm already like engineering, getting more seasoned with the industry and whatnot. And then Smoke Perp hit me up.
I mean, who was the first person, before we skip to the Smoke Perp thing, who was the first person, like the first big person you worked for, and how did that happen?
Well, Fetty Wap, yeah, I would say like Fetty Wap.
And how did that happen?
It was like, man, it was like, honestly, I was interning, bro. I was interning for the studio, and they were like, it was tough love, but I got nothing against them, but I feel like they were hard on me. They were real hard on me because everybody in there knew, you feel me, like music, and they knew music theory, and they knew all the technical shit that I didn't know of, you feel me? I just knew how to like
make it sound good,
you feel me? I didn't know how to like explain myself to it or whatever. And this dude came by to do a session, but like I said, it was kind of like God-given, bro. Like he came to do a session. His name was Boulevard Mark, and he was doing a feature. Fetty Wap was doing a feature for him. So he came, he booked the session, and Fetty Wap came through with Monty, and they did like 2-3 songs. And then that's when I got like acquainted with Fetty Wap, and that's when I got like my first little engineer credit. After that session, they hired me as an engineer. They were like, okay, here are the keys. We know you could handle the session. So yeah.
Boom. And then you work with Rob Banks too, sure?
Oh yeah. Work with Rob Banks. Constantly goes to the studio. You know, I've been to his house. I've recorded him there. Like, you know, he's cool. He always hits me up like random, like, yo, what's up? I need to work. Let's work. And we just built a relationship from him being there so much. I was just sitting in his sessions. It went from me sitting in his sessions to me playing beats for him to me recording him. And we just kept a relationship like that.
Word. And then, so then some girl tags you in Smoke Perp's thing.
Yeah, and then some girl tags me in Smoke Perp's thing, a tweet that he put saying, oh, who has a stew? She tagged me. He hit me. He's like, yo, you got a stew? I brought him to that same studio, Audio Vision, him and Lil Pump. And like it was the video is all on my IG too. If you scroll down, you can see the proof. Like, you feel me? Like, he was there. We worked on a couple songs. We did a song called Snow, I think, and another one or something like that. And yeah, we just kept building a relationship like that. And I had that by that time I was getting a studio in Kendall. So I got my studio in Kendall, and he would just pull up on me, you know, whenever he was in town, and we just worked like that. Like, he used to come and play Xbox in my studio and shit. Like, you feel me? Like, just kick it. And we just kept building a relationship that way. And, you know, worked on music, worked on some songs. And it went from them to working with Smoke Perp and them boys to, you know, working with Rob Banks and like hearing about all. That's how I got familiar with the underground wave. I saw that there was a big wave coming, you feel me? And I was like, damn. And then I peeped Extension and Ski Mask and all these other dudes. And I was like, yo, shit's gonna go crazy, bro.
And then, from there, like, how did you transition into like working with like somebody like Ross and like the more mainstream people?
So I was, like I said, I was still working at the studio, in-house mixing engineer, recording mixing engineer, always taking sessions, never leaving money on the table. Like, sometimes I wouldn't even sleep, you feel me? I was sleeping in my car and shit. And there was an artist that I was working with a lot at the time called Skrilla. Shout out to Skrilla. He was doing work with Ross, and he was trying to sign with Ross. And he was doing a song. We were doing a song for Super Cindy down in Miami for 99 Jams,
Mm-hmm.
and I was engineering the session. Ross came through to do a verse. At the end of that session, Skrilla introduced me to Ross and was like, "Yo, lil homie can get you the studio time, and he know about all this shit." I gave Ross my business card. He looked at it. He's like, "When can you be back?" I'm like, "Shit, as soon as you need me." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna call you tomorrow." And in my head, I'm like, "Man, it's Rose, man. He ain't finna like, just finna forget about this shit. Like, that's fucking Rose. Like,
Yeah.
pulled up in a Ferrari and shit. Like, he built my business card." And bro, I literally no bullshit. I woke up the next day like at 12 noon and I had like 5 missed calls from him, bro. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" He's like, "Yo, this Rose, pull up ASAP. I need you to pull up to the crib." And I went, drove my ass to his crib, and I hooked up a studio for him. Like, I just put up the speakers and this shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? And wired it all up, and then built a relationship like that. He flew me to Atlanta, put me in this big ass studio with a big ass board. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Somehow, yeah, bro. Like, I was sweating, bro. I was sweating. He imagine I'm like 21. I'll get into this crib, and he puts me in a dusty ass room that has barely been, that they have not used in a minute because they just don't know if it
how.
works. Yeah, they don't know if it works or not. And it's a big ass SSL board and a fucking hole, like a fucking hit factory in his house. And I'm just like, fuck. He's like, yeah, you know, I want to get this thing up and rolling and I want to start using it. I'm just like, oh my God, what the fuck did I get myself into? And bro,
How'd you figure it out?
Bro, I was there for hours trying to just figure out how to get sound out the thing at first.
Yeah.
I finally got
Did
that.
you hit YouTube or something?
No. I just went with my instincts and troubleshooted a lot of shit. But
Yeah.
I finally got some sound off of it, but it still wasn't working like how it was. You couldn't record off of it. So I had to call like a technical engineer that knew about SSL boards and shit. And he had to do a whole configuring, and it was a process. So it wasn't something that I could have just figured out myself.
Yeah.
But after that, like, he was like, "Yo, like, you know, I guess he saw that I could handle my own type shit." And I stayed at his crib probably for like 6 months. I left.
No way. In Atlanta.
Yeah, in Atlanta. And
What?
yeah, I stayed there for like 6 months. Came back for like 3 months.
And when you stayed at Ross's house for 6 months, like, how often are you guys like recording?
Oh man, every morning.
Every day?
Every morning. He wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning. I'm not even talking shit, from Monday through Sunday. And I feel like he was doing it. He was making sure that he would wake up early to like test me, like really to make sure like how bad do you want it? You feel me?
Yeah.
So every morning he wake up 5, 6 in the morning, get in the studio, record like 2, 3 songs, and go about his day. He might come back at night, do it again, boom, boom, boom. Wake up the next morning, boom, boom, boom. You feel me? Yeah.
I'm so curious about like this Atlanta adventure. So you're in
Yeah.
Atlanta for 6 months,
Bro,
staying
it was
at
more
Ross's
than that.
house. So like, what are you doing when you're not like recording and shit? What are you doing?
So at first, you know, they always traveling. They always going out of town and shit. Especially on the weekend, because they
So
got.
did they just leave you at the crib?
Yeah, like basically, I was living at the house by myself. Like, I had the house by myself, and I had a whole studio to myself. So I was like, bro, I gotta dial in. I'm finna be a fire ass producer. So that's exactly what I did though. I literally like would go crazy, bro. Like, I would work like excessive. I would be like, today I'm gonna make 15 beats, and I'm not gonna get up from this chair till I make 15 beats, bro. And I would pop Adderalls and not sleep and just be like going crazy, bro. Going crazy, smoking mad weed, just popping Adderalls.
Did they just have weed there for you?
They always have weed there. You feel me? I had to finesse the Adderall some way somehow.
Bro, that's like, you know how many people would like dream to do that?
I know, bro.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You stayed at Ross's house for over 6 months, just like every
Yeah.
morning in the studio.
I
Just
go there oftenly now. Like, it's like, yo, pulling
that's
up.
so fucking crazy.
Yeah, you get to drive.
And
the
this is just
Ferraris
off.
and
This
shit.
is just off of this dude Skrilla introducing you to Ross,
Right.
and you answering the phone and fucking.
But also showing that, like, yo, like, I'm dead serious, bro. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. You feel me? Like,
and like,
yeah.
if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna figure it out.
exactly. Like, yeah, pretty much, bro. Like, being super helpful. Like, even if it's not studio shit. Like, what you need, Ross? You need a bottle of water? I got you, bro. What you need? Need me to roll that blunt for you? I got you, bro. Like, whatever, bro. Like, I was there, bro. Couldn't, like, you feel me? I just made his job easier in
I mean,
any way.
and I mean, what's that like though? Like working with Ross? Like, I mean, I'm sure like when you were in high school and shit, like
Oh man,
it's like
it's crazy because I used to be in high school, I used to be in middle school, and I used to listen to Ross's music, and I used to be like, bruh, to produce a song for this man, bro, you have to be on some epic shit, bro. Like, his music is so fucking epic.
And it's just like he's such a big thing in Miami, bro.
Right,
like he's
right.
just like
The biggest, like
the biggest boss. Yeah.
he runs that shit. I'm not even like, no disrespect to no artist, from they all doing their thing. I fuck with all of them, but Rose really, like, the king of that shit, bro, because he got so many businesses. He got so much opportunity down there. He done spent and made and put so much money back into Miami. It's crazy, bro.
It's fucking insane.
It's crazy,
and you're just
bro.
sitting here at this dude's house, like working
Yeah.
for him, like,
Yeah,
just
and
like,
I'm just like,
making
yo.
shit happen and like getting his studio up and running. That's so crazy, and it's like it's so dope to hear. So
It's super dope.
all right, so you're at the crib, whatever.
Mhm.
6 months pass. You what? And then you come back, and then I mean, what's around what time is this? Like, what album is this?
This was during they were working on Rather You Than Me. So it was the
Okay.
9th album. It was 2016, 2017. And you know, they're working on the tracks and whatnot. I'm there for like 6 months. I leave for like 3 months. I come back, and when I come back, I'm there for like a year and a half. Like straight, you feel me? Just
being like Ross's engineer.
yeah, Ross working. Well, he has another engineer too called Tomcat. Shout out to Tomcat. He was like he's known Ross since he was like a young little 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Just hustling and shit. So like he's known him forever. So he kind of showed me how to be around him. You feel me? Because I wasn't used to dealing with somebody at that magnitude. I was used to like people my age and shit. You feel me? So like
I mean, it's definitely I'm sure it takes some adjusting.
It does, bro.
Like,
And I even had to stop smoking because like I couldn't. Like I would just turn weird when I would smoke around them boys. Like I would just be like mad quiet, and then you can't be quiet. You gotta be like always on your shit, bro. You gotta be like thinking of ways to give new ideas or whatever. I'm just trying to be as you know, helpful as I could be and assertive as I can be. So I had to cut the smoking. I had to learn how to really move around them boys, because even traveling with them, when I travel with them, like I remember at first I used to get lost in the airport, and I used to not know where the fuck. I used to like forget bags and shit, like. And like, damn, bro, I really need to tighten up. I would forget hard drives and shit. Like it was a lot of ups and downs, bro. But I finally got the hang of it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, shit was crazy, bro.
I mean, I guess like fast forward to now, where
Mhm.
you're Ross's, like you're one of Ross's main engineers.
Yeah.
You engineered 90%. You said
Yeah,
of
facts.
Port of Miami too,
Facts.
and you got 2 songs on it.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Man, shit,
And
bro.
are these the first Ross placements you got?
The thing is, I have probably have when he started rapping on my beats, the first day he rapped on
How much time passed before you actually got on your beat? Like, is it the first time you stayed there for 6 months? Is it the second time you
No.
stayed there for a year and a half?
It was around that time, because at the first 6 months, I was kind of getting used to just
Did he
being-
know you made beats, or?
That's the thing. He didn't even know I engineered. Like he was just like he thought I knew how to just hook up studios, and I was just like, nah. Like I started working with the artists that were staying at his house.
Got you.
So like he would peep. He would say, oh, he know how to engineer too. Okay, cool. And then he would see me make beats.
Bro, that's so crazy.
He would see me make beats, and he would be like, oh, so you making beats now? And I'm like, yeah, I've always been making beats. And then I played some for DJ Sam Sneak, and Sam hit me back. He's like, hey, yo, shit pretty hard. We finna do some shit. And then that's what kind of inspired me. Like, no, okay, let's go. It's game time. Like, I'm gonna take over. And that's exactly what I did. I just dialed in. I went fucking crazy. And one day he woke up 5 a.m, was like, man, I need some beats. And I was like, yo, I got some beats. Can I play you? He's like, yeah, play them. I played them like the first 3. We did like 2 songs out of that. And then we did like 3 other songs. We did like 5-6 songs that day. Yeah. And then 2 of those songs were originally on the first track list of Port of Miami, but they got bumped down. And then I did 2 new ones that made the album.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, bro. When I found out they got bumped, I got so heartbroken, bro. Like I was like, bro, this is not gonna go down like this. Like I just could not take no for an answer. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna do this shit, or like I'm gonna fucking be so disappointed in myself.
So
dog.
Ross records like every morning.
Pretty much, yeah. He has his spurts. Like back then, when I was first coming in the picture, he was recording every morning, and he still does record every morning. To be honest, like even when I stay at the house in Miami, he wakes up in the morning.
Is that different for you? Like I feel like most of the time artists are like recording like at night.
At night, yeah. It was a little different, but at the same time, I got adjusted to it, and I really like enjoyed it because it kind of made me used to waking up in the morning, and I realized like you get so much more done waking up in the morning, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, bro. Like I could wake up at 7 in the morning, and it's from 7 to noon, time will just fly. You feel me? Rather than me wake up at 12 noon, 1 o'clock, and time will be a drag till nighttime. But like I feel like that morning spurt just like is so
Flies
productive.
by.
Yeah.
Do you know like did you ever ask him like, yo, how come you record in the morning? Like have you ever asked him that?
Nah, that's a good thing. I never asked him. I should ask him, but
Because I wonder what his thought process is like behind like
yeah,
waking up and just recording.
probably because it's fresh. His mind's fresh. He likes, smoke his blunt and just get the thoughts rolling. You feel me?
Yeah.
He might have a beat looping from the night before, and he'll just have it looping loud in the studio all night till he just comes in the next morning and boom, lays it out.
How does he record? Like when he records,
Yeah.
is he just freestyling? Does he like come in with stuff written down?
He writes down. He might what he might do is he might write some ideas down and then build a verse off those ideas, or write like 3-4 lines down and then build off that and then punch in. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes he might write a whole verse and just boom, knock it out and then try to bump it down. So he'll like write a verse, listen to it, and then write a new verse to try to make it better.
Word.
Yeah.
How much unreleased Ross music do you think you have?
Man, I don't want to say that. But there's a lot. You feel me? I don't even have my hard drive with me. Like the MMG shit, I keep it somewhere safe,
Tucked away
where nobody could touch it, bro. Because it's like that shit is precious, and there's so much shit. Like, yeah, it's the vaults, bro. It's the the Illuminati vaults.
Yeah, that's wild. So you got 2 songs on the album and you engineered 90%. How does that work with like, do you like when you get engineer credit, do you get like paid off of that too? Is that part of the splits or no? It's just like you get engineer credit.
Yeah, the thing is with me, I never really wanted to be an engineer, to be 1000 with you. I really wanted to focus on being a producer.
Yeah.
Because but I knew that being an engineer would open so many doors for me, and I feel like that's how I got acquainted with, Perp, Pump, Banks, Ross, all Fetty, like all these dudes. I got to be up close and personal with them because of my engineering. If I would have just came off and been like, I'm an artist, that door would have probably been closed. So I wanted to get in the door with these people and in the same room to be able to use that opportunity to take it to the next level. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, 100%.
yeah, and then but with engineering, no, they don't get.
And like when you produce the music, like how involved are you in? Like, I mean, obviously you're recording it, but like, are you ever like talking back to him and being like, "Yo, do it like this"?
I mean,
or like, is that hard? Is that hard? Because it's fucking Rick Ross.
Yeah, no, you're right though. You gotta say it at the right moment. You definitely gotta time your fucking response the right way. Because if not, if he's in his thought process, something might come off wrong. But definitely, bro, I'm actually credited on the 2 production tracks that I did as a writer too.
Oh wow, that's super fucking dope.
My name's all over that shit, boy. So you feel me? Shout out to Ross for making that happen, man. For real.
That's insane. That's insane. I mean, shit. What I feel like you need to give like these like up and coming kids, like you need to give them like some advice. Like, what's some good advice for like some kid who's like trying to kind of do what you're doing?
Man, I would say, bro, hard work beats talent any day, bro. Don't get discouraged. Stay focused. Keep tunnel vision on what you want to do, and one way or another, it will prosper, bro. Like that was my mind state. It was like, bro, I'm finna work hard at this shit, and it's finna happen. Like, there's no way around it. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna do everything it takes, and I'm gonna make it happen. And you gotta take the shit people throw at you, because they're gonna throw shit at you all the time. They're gonna tell you you ain't it. They're gonna tell you you have no use. You're useless. They done told me everything in the book, bro. Like, and I have thick skin because of that, and that shit do not discourage me. Yeah, it might make you feel bad at times, and you might wanna, man, fuck it, wipe them tears and get back to work. Lace your boots up, bro, and just keep going, bro. Keep going, because there's light at the end of that tunnel, dog. Believe me.
For sure, no, 100%. I feel that 1,000,000%.
Yeah, bro.
Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm like the most talented interviewer, but I just like work hard, And
bro,
like,
I've seen
like,
what you've been doing, bro. I've been seeing since Miami, bro. I'm not even capping. I'm not even bragging, bro. Like, I've been seeing what you. Back then when I met you, I didn't really know you like that or nothing like that. So I was just like, oh, whatever, what up. But now I've seen what you've done since you did interviews in Miami with the Perp and Pump, and then bringing them. You've done interviews with like Trapstar and Icy Narco, and when it was just, I remember when it was just like your desk, and it was like your desk in
the room,
in a room or some shit. And I was like, bro, like, that's hard, bro. And like, I remember it was the Mars Files, and I was like, damn, like, that shit kind of sound hard. That name itself is legendary, Mars, bro. You feel me? And I knew that you had a grip, and you knew what was up with this culture in Miami, bro. Like, you'd fucking know it, bro. Like, especially with the SoundCloud wave and all that.
100%.
Like, you knew about it, bro, and you were hip to that shit, and you fucking were part of that. You played a role in that shit, bro. So I had to get with you, bro. Like,
no, definitely. I'm glad you hit me up. I'm glad. I'm glad you came through. Fuck, I was about to ask something and it fucking slipped my mind because we went off on a tangent.
So good.
It's the producer credits we talked about. Oh, that's what it was. It was the story you had about the Money in the Grave song.
Oh, okay.
I want you to like kind of retell that. So you had a hand in recording that. So
Yeah.
You recorded
sure.
Ross's verse or what?
Yeah, I recorded Ross's verse, and then I worked on the Drake vocals. But overall, it was finalized by Drake's team because it was a Drake record. But yeah, I flew into Atlanta. Ross called me, was like, "Yo, I got this Drake record looping. We need to finish it." And I was like, "Oh shit, bro!" In my head, I'm just like, "Bro, imagine I just get there and it's one of my beats looping and shit. Like, holy fuck." But nah, I was like, when I got there, it wasn't my beat, but I was still fucking hyped. Working on that shell, like, damn. And then pull up, he got the beat looping. Ross come through like an hour later, knocked the verse down. We sent it to Drake. Drake did some more verses to it, sent it back. Ross did another verse, and in that whole span, it was probably like 4 or 5 hours. I get a call from Noah 40, Drake's producer. He's like, "Yo, what up? This is 40." Yeah, that moment, at that moment, I was like, damn, like this is dope. Like,
Yeah.
damn, like okay.
Do you get a moment to like kind of break the fourth wall and just be like, "Yo, this is dope," or you can't even like really do that?
I mean, I told him, I was like, "Bro, I admire you, dog. Like, you a legend to me, dog." He's there calling me like, "Hey, boss." I'm like, "Bro, you the boss, bro. You tell me what it is you need me to do." Like, it was crazy. And no, he's like, "Yo, it's Noah 40. Nice to meet you, Trop. You look, Drake wants to drop the record tonight, so we need to get Ross's approval on it tonight so we can master and get it out." And he's like, "I know this is late notice, but you know how these guys are, and they want to put it out." So I was like, "Shit, let's do it." And boom, like. Ross approved it. Drake mastered it. Drake's team mastered it. Their engineers mastered it, and boom,
it came out.
It came out the same night, 12 a.m.
That's insane, dude.
And it's number one. It went number one.
So, I mean, I guess moving forward, like, what's the plan for you? I feel like you got a lot of shit in motion, but like, what else are you trying to do? Man,
I'm starting to build like a label. I'm just trying to like put out more placements. I got a Spanish record in the works with Ross. I got some more records in the works too. I work a lot with like, the new wave too. Icy Narco, that's like my little homie. Like we keep a good relationship. I work with him. I got some on his new album that's coming, his debut album that's coming. I got something in the works with Fat Trail. He's Free Fat Trail. He's still locked up, but we got something in the works. I work with him. We're working on some new shit with Ross. So
how long you out here? You just trying to tap in with people and shit?
Yeah, I'm just trying to tap in. I'm actually doing a promo run for the Port of Miami. I hit a couple cities. LA's the last stop. I'm here till the 26th, and then I'm back in Miami.
Word.
Yeah.
Fire, bro. You got a studio and shit down there? Like,
yeah.
What's the label called? Like,
it's called Wave Labs. Wave Lab Studios. Actually, the dude sitting out there, John and Rob, he's a good friend of ours too. He's always at the studio as well. He's part of like one of the core founders too, because he kind of like started with us before we even had the studio.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we co-own, and we just got a new location, so we're expanding, and we got to go over there and sign off on the lease and move all the shit over there, and yeah.
Word.
Wave Lab Studios, man.
For sure. Tap in with Trop. Where can people find you at?
Tropdavinci on all social media platforms. That's Tropdavinci. Tropdavinci.
Word. Any shout outs or anything? I also want to say thank you for bringing me this bottle of Bel Air.
No problem, man. Shout out to Bel Air. You feel me? Appreciate the care package. I need that fridge, Bel Air. I need that fridge. You feel me? Shout out to Mars for having me come through, man. This is a dope vibe. I fuck with it. Shout out to Dash Radio. Shout out to my partner John Austin, Franco LaFlame, Maybach Music, Rob Melody, Ricky Rose, Rick Ross. Thank you for all the opportunities, man. It's only to the top from here. DJ Sam Sneak, Epic Records, Tomcat, I see you. Yeah, Tropdavinci, we here, baby.
We out here, and like I said again, bro, thank you for the Bel Air. You're the first guest
Enjoy
that's
that.
ever brought me a gift, so I
They need
appreciate
to start bringing you more gifts, man. I'm gonna bring you a whole case next time. I got you, bro.
Yo, if you're watching this and you're a future guest, I mean,
bring him some damn gifts.
I like gifts, man. So yeah, this is the Mars Files. Gang.